There we are. Welcome, everybody. I was waiting for all the cameras to pop up. Hello, welcome to Skies of Bolarius. This is a 5e actual play set in the Bolarius setting created by Bogus Cheesecake. So happy you're all here this morning. Hope you're having a lovely, wonderful day. I know that I'm holding a dog, so that's great. She's fallen asleep on me. That's very sweet. And I have some amazing players with me here today, who I would love if they would introduce themselves. Why don't we go? We'll start with Gainer, and we'll go right to left.
Yeah, gang. Hey, what's up? My name's Gainer. They, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at GayNorca. That's GayNorcott. I'm an actor, TTRPG enthusiast. Got a couple ongoing programs right now, but I'll talk about those at the end. And today I'll be playing Rio Pivany, Catfish Folk, Barbarian Warlock Extraordinaire.
I know Rio is a catfish folk, but when you said catfish, just imagine I'll be playing Rio catfishing people.
I'll be catfishing people today. I'll be cold calling random people to catfish them as their long lost uncle.
Long lost Nigerian prince uncle.
Classic.
All right, Omni, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chief. Hello, everyone. I'm the last Omnitech, your favorite robot American, and you guys can catch me on my own channel, twitch.tv/thelast twice a week, but we'll deal with that later. Today, I'm here to play Dorian the Pale, everyone's favorite changeling druid, who is slightly uncanny, yet wholly wholesome. And I think that's about as good a summary as we're going to get.
And I'm Matthew. I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and DM. Today I'm playing the part of Shale Drillnose. I'm just a little goblin. A little goblin, just trying to make it in the world. Never got into no trouble.
Who, me? Well, I'm very happy to have you all here today, and let's just jump right into it today, shall we? You know, the last that we had left off, you all had broken down the sky whale that you had successfully hunted, and it was an arduous process, to be sure. But once all of the collection was done and your airship had returned to properly begin moving all of the parts back for further processing and sale and things, you found yourselves heading up and east, making your way out to explore the open steppes of Bolarius and begin moving all the way to the Red Cliff Mountains. So, as we start things off, all of you are on the deck of the Primrose, which we did also end with Shale receiving a message, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as you're on the deck of the Primrose, having just received the message, it's quiet. You can see Katarina, with her same kind of steely look, watching over the horizon. What would you all like to do?
Feels kind of Where would the nearest Raddock or blasting office be? do I think? Like back towards town, or
The closest would probably be in Oberstone, which is a town not terribly far from Eris Bridge. It's just to the southeast of Eris Bridge, part of the Midstrom dukedom.
Oberstone?
Yeah, Oberstone.
She is going to keep this to herself for now. Kind of nervously figuring out what she wants to do about it.
Okay.
Maybe she's like unusually normally she keeps herself busy. Maybe now she's just kind of like just kind of putzing around on the deck.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The the journey. Well, you can see that Ekaterina seems to kind of very gently roll the ship back and forth as if it was bobbing in a leeward tide, trying to right itself. She seems more kind of indecisive as to exactly which straightforward path to take. For airship travel, it's commonly assumed to just take a. Yes, thank you, nurse. To take a straight line in any direction. However, depending on the conditions, it can sometimes be much easier to move along the strongest air currents. And you can see that Katerina is careful and certainly experienced enough to be able to judge the winds so as to put the least amount of pressure on the engine itself.
Interesting.
Have we refresh my memory? Have we completed our like we got also all the stuff we were gonna get from the last from the whale we dropped, and
Yeah.
so we're just on to our next hunt. Have we given her any like input on where we think the pods are yet?
The pod is moving very slowly across the eastern like bends of Bolarius, and from here it seems to be coming down off basically over the mountains along the northeast and like trailing further south. Um, Frankly, basically just heading east will lead you, at which point you can kind of like once you're closer, because it'll take several days to even by airship to get out that far, to then start moving north or south to wherever it is once you're closer.
I think Ryu is standing near the captain, just being like, "What? Based on my experience with this, we should be getting another sky whale any minute now. Seemingly within the first hour or so after taking off."
Um, they not Yeah, it's usually that fast.
A slow day.
And they kind of look out and, like, in the meantime, why don't you take some of that ballast and move it? We're going to be catching a few headwinds. I want to make sure that 4 of the ship can get to a little better altitude.
Okay. So should I throw it off the side, put it downstairs,
Move it aftward. Alright?
afterward?
Go down to the deck, move it to the back of the ship.
The back of the ship. Okay. Okay.
You can see they
I guess
like
we're gonna go-
immediately are like, I can't use the proper terms. I have
Start
to.
walking immediately just towards the side of the ship. Just pointing and going aft.
Oh my god.
And they're going to like point behind them aft.
I will go downstairs, start moving things up the stairs, up to behind the captain.
I feel like Dorian is watching this with a combination of pity and awe. He's probably nursing a single berry, as he usually does, just slowly doing his morning routine. And I think he would let that go on for maybe 3 minutes until afterwards he would stand up and walk over and just go, "Would you like a hand?"
Yeah. I'm just moving the stuff up behind the captain. It's where she wants it, so.
Dorian's going to slowly turn towards the captain and assess that this is in fact what she wanted.
You can see they just kind of like give this very pained sneer of like, absolutely not.
Right. I think, and, you know, I don't like to read into things. I don't want to be presumptive, but I think the captain might want them at the back of the ship, towards the rear of it, like this. He's just going to grab one of the boxes, one of the lighter ones, because he's not in beast form and he needs to explain this, and slowly walk it towards the actual aft of the ship. Like, place it down on the back, if you like. And look at Katarina like, is this where you wanted it, or did you want it below deck?
And they just kind of like hang their head. Why don't you all just put it back where it was?
Okay. Moving it right back.
And I come up to the captain sheepishly while the other two are working. Hey, captain, you gonna be stopping off anywhere on the way?
And they like look at you. Getting sick already?
No, just planning my shopping spree. Spend all that money and stuff.
They like kind of give you a little bit of a sideways glance, and it'll take some time for Morning Dawn to get your actual records of payment out to you.
Right. And just I just curious if there's a town coming up like, oh, I don't know, like Oberton or something.
And you can see like they just have that same reaction of like, oh.
I need to go to the bathroom, Mom. You just went 2 hours ago. I gotta go again.
Well, you know. Hey, hey, Captain.
Do you need something in Overstone?
Oh, no, just, first one I thought of, nothing important there. Completely unrelated. Have you done a lot of business with the Raddock ore blasting company? What
Make a deception check.
I'm really good at those. Where is it? I got a 2.
Perfect.
I like to think that's because from below deck you hear Rio yell, "I thought you didn't like them, Shale. You
Shush!
talk about them a lot. I know you don't like them."
Shush!
And you can see they immediately look down at you with this just glowering expression. What did you do?
Me? No, I've never done nothing ever. No, just they was just gonna visit one of their lovely offices for.
They literally reached out and grab you by the shoulder and lift you up by the arm and
Got me by the overall straps.
yeah, and they literally hold you up so you're eye level with them. What did you do?
Well, I didn't do much, but somebody has been sending messages from Raddock. They last one mentioned something about a ship that maybe turned up in Arisbridge recently.
They literally just drop you to the deck.
Oof.
The ship and they point out to various parts of their ship that they had replaced with pieces from that one. That ship.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's left in Arisbridge, though. Well, none. I mean, a lot of the parts missing from that ship I don't think can be traced to the best of my abilities. But that's not all that's they've been sending me.
And they again just lean back, kind of fold their arms across their chest. Go on.
They've been bugging me the last day or two. Somebody wanted to speak with me there, said they heard from one of my folks, but that's really weird. My my folks like don't like the blasting company either. They're not gonna people say a lot of things about the drill noses, but one thing the drill noses ain't is snitches, especially to them. So if if a drill nose told them about me, then they might be in trouble.
And they give a long, kind of thoughtful nod. So, Raddock is potentially already captured and interrogated family members of yours because you stole one of their ships and whatever other nonsense you've done in the past to antagonize them. Do I have that about right?
About the messages started before the ship, And I don't know how they'd know about it, honestly. Like, nobody saw us.
So they had a problem with you before you stole the ship.
A little bit, maybe not me personally, but me and my folks, my family,
And
don't get along with the Raddocks too much.
they lean back down and they again grab like the straps of the overalls and lift you up. And they're like,
Ugh.
"All right, Dorian, Rio, say goodbye to Shale." And they start walking
no.
to the edge,
Shale.
like to the edge of the
Dorian.
deck.
You
Like,
would literally see Dorian just like puffing it from downstairs as like an idiot. Like, oh god, she finally did it.
Bye.
She's gonna get killed.
Hold on, I have a picture for you before you leave.
and they hold you over like the railing of the ship as you're about 5,000 feet up in the air.
Oh my god.
No.
What did you do to the Raddock Ore Blasting Company?
No, it's just no. We just we dig without the paperwork. That's it. That's it. And good half of my suit is built out of a Raddock's turret, but we found that was salvage.
And they like turn back and toss you back onto the deck.
I think Dorian finally reaches you and just like panting a little bit because he's been moving stuff back under deck, and he just sort of like hands on knees, wheezing through like slits in the sides of his head as he's not had a chance to make his mouth form yet. Slowly splits across his face. What was that about? Breathing so hard with that mouth. Oh.
I'm gonna come up and be like, Shale, I know you probably have to leave for good reasons, but I just wanna let you know that I'm really gonna miss you.
Rio, it's
I'm not gonna leave.
abstraction. It's not what it was. It was not. It was.
Grab onto Rio's like ankle, just like
That's my ankle.
if I'm going over, Rio's going over with me.
That's right. We're going together.
And you see Katerina like slowly turn back, like, do not make the offer more tempting to throw you overboard.
Reach over, grab Dorian's pant leg. Like,
I somehow weigh over 300 pounds.
Okay, we need to talk about that. I don't know what
Can't
you're
figure
eating.
out how.
But that's
It's really
impressive.
so dense.
Thick with 2 C's. Dorian would just like slowly lower a hand to Shale's head, just like gently pat, and look up and just say, "So, what happened then? What's going on?"
I don't know. I don't know. They started bugging me before we borrowed the ship, so I don't know what's going on. And now they give me like an ultimatum. So but I can fix this. I can fix this. I can go to their office and fix this.
Why did they give you an old tomato?
It's a message, Rio. It's a message. Ultimatum. I need to get you more flashcards. We'll get you there.
The ones you already gave me, the words are too long. I'm not gonna use them.
Sorry.
I fixed the ship. I fixed the ship and I did a good job, and I don't want to get thrown over the side.
And Katerina's like, we will reach Overstone by the late afternoon. I'm leaving in the morning. If you want to be on the ship, I suggest you conclude your fucking business. And they, like, head back to the wheel, and they, like, with a huff, like, turn the ship heading toward Overstone.
She's got, like, the big watery anime eyes, just like, ooh.
All right.
I walk up to I walk up to Dorian as Shale's running away, and I say, "Wow, I think Shale may have done something to upset the captain. Somebody should check on her."
Dorian slowly closes his eyes. In many ways, I feel Dorian and Katarina have a lot in common. The difference is Dorian tends to approach with patience, which she approaches with fury. And he slowly blinks his eyes, just like, they're kids, they're kids, big Grandpa Wooly, big Grandpa Wooly. And he's just gonna, like, gently reach down and be like, yeah, you're right. I'll go talk
6
with
years
her.
old.
I'm nearly 30.
They're kids at heart. And he's gonna slowly, like, turn around and just be like, be helpful on deck. Follow the captain's orders. Exactly. And right now, and he looks over at Katarina, who I'm sure is fuming. Just like, I'm sure her first order is to not be in the way. So, why don't you go down to the commissary? If you can make us a sandwich, I'll be right there to eat one. I'll have whatever you make, and I'll go talk to Shale. And he, like, slowly just backs up to follow after Shale.
I'll do you one better. I'll make you 2 sandwiches.
Sounds great. I love it.
Then I will
No
go
water
down and make
crystal. That's
sandwiches.
disgusting. He would eventually sort of peer. Well, he would follow where Shale went. Try to find wherever she has her little hidey hole on the ship.
She's gone back, I think, somewhere below deck. She's got her, like, wherever she's parked her suit last. She's scrambled up into it and closed the dome. And just like, it's like, okay, it's got the fail safe and the parachute, and like, it's just kind of like kind of just like curled up into a little ball in the cockpit.
Dorian would slowly, like, peer down the hallway, walk over towards you, and with, like, a gentle, like, knock knock on the dome with, like, the back of the knuckles so as to not leave a smudge. Shale, you in there?
And it cracks it open. Are you gonna yank me out?
No, he doesn't. I don't think he would ever do that. He's very soft touch about this kind of thing.
Yeah. No, that's what she asked. She's like, are you gonna yank me out?
Oh, yeah. Right. No, of course not. I just wanted to talk.
She'll, like, tentatively slide it open with her hands.
Dorian slowly sits down, a crossed leg away from her, or, like, opposite of her. I figure he's, like, eye level with her in the suit when it's, like, disengaged like this. Because I'm assuming it's suit for Goblin. So in suit, Goblin basically normal size. Out of suit or deactivated, basically back to Goblin size.
Yeah.
So he's sort of sits there and just goes, so tell me everything.
Well, someone from the ore blasting company's been sending messages, and they're they some old guy mentioned mentioned the suit I built, and kind of knocks on old fancy.
I heard the part where it was legal salvage. He chooses his words very carefully with that.
Yeah, the old torso and arm assembly is an old anti-pirate turret. We found it by legal means. Me and my pa, but
So
the last one No, Drill Nose would never work with the ore blasting company. Yeah. I don't believe you own my grandpappy and He's old school. He doesn't think he can own the mountains. He doesn't think he can scramble up some paperwork and tell people where they can dig and where they can't. It's not the way. It's not the way we used to do it.
That's strange. I've never heard of anyone messaging someone out of the blue. Usually there's some sort of contact before then, or you heard about it.
Mm.
So
And the last one mentioned mentioned that ship that we found, but I don't know. Nobody there saw us. I don't know how they'd even know.
there were a couple people who saw us before Rio. Rio was seen scaring them off. Granted, I'm not sure how, like, cognizant they would be, like literally holding out his hand like that when he's saying it. Because when I saw them, they were running. I'm pretty sure they both had full pant loads to deal with. I can't imagine they were quick to talk about that. But
Would have taken them a while to get out of that hole too.
true.
But yeah, so they gave me whoever it is gave me 4 days to report in.
Well, and Dorian slowly stands up. Then I guess we are going there. We'll make sure everything's all right, and we'll be on our way.
Mm-hmm.
If they give you any more trouble, just be more direct about it next time.
Well, yeah, I get you. I just didn't want to make the captain mad.
He pauses at that. The best advice I can give you is that everything makes the captain mad. Just make it as quick as possible.
It's like gets all teary-eyed.
Would you like a sandwich?
I think at this point, Rio watched it and says the only thing making the captain mad today is if they miss out on these sandwiches.
I like to imagine that Rio has a plate of like 25 sandwiches. Like just
so many sandwiches.
This is why
made
you're 300
BLTs.
pounds.
Blubber, lettuce, and tomatoes.
got a lot of muscle in that little fish bod.
Yeah. I have another plate downstairs, just in case. We may be out of bread.
And meat,
I thought if you
cheese.
make all the sandwiches now, and you eat them throughout the week, then it'll last probably another day or so.
sorry, I was just thinking peanut blubber and jelly.
Oh God!
Just
I
take one off.
walk
Dorian's
in,
just gonna pick his battles and just take a sandwich and sit down and eat.
I walk up to Shale. I'm like, so Shale, why we're going to a town? Why'd you want to go to that town?
Oh, no reason. Like, she's like, doesn't want to explain it again. She just reaches out and grabs a sandwich, and she's like, just holding it, just takes a bite, and just like,
Weird,
Was
because your friend was back in the town we just left, so I thought you'd want to go back there.
ooh, starts like spirited away, crying while eating. Just,
The sandwiches are cut into little triangles because they're blub sandwiches.
Oh my God! I love this. I'm living for these.
I'm just eating my third sandwich at this point. Just like, girl. Because they came by and they were like, I'm looking for Shale Drill Nose. And I was like, oh, she's around here somewhere. So
We need to talk about how open you are, Rio, and how sometimes you don't need to answer everyone.
What? Are you on the run from somebody? No? Then I don't see the problem.
Nope, didn't do nothing.
Okay.
I'm a valuable member of the crew, and
Yes.
no one has to throw me off.
Okay. I'll tell the captain. It's sandwich going down. This is
Yeah.
funny.
I think
This is
that
how I
think
got big and strong.
I think Dorian has nothing more to add to this. He's just sitting there eating a sandwich, observing the social devastation around him.
I just like to imagine everybody, stick with me, kid, and then like in a month, Shale also weighs 300 pounds.
That's right. Dense as hell.
Um,
So swole.
Stunk.
all right.
I got a good con save. I'm probably handle a couple sandwiches.
Yeah, no. So the next hour or two are pretty quiet. But in time, Katerina calls out for all of you to join her on the deck. And across the grand vista, she begins bringing the ship lower and lower in altitude. You can see a smattering of buildings of Oberstone. And Oberstone is kind of a oddity in the actual dukedom of Midstrom. And the thing is, Bolarius, since the Age of Kings, no longer holds with kings. Now they have these. There's dukes, and even then, it's oftentimes towns will find themselves watched over by groups of people. Midstrom is well known to, given its location, does not have a lot to offer in terms of trade elsewhere. They don't have many exports. There's not a lot that can grow there. They don't have a lot in terms of cattle or shepherding or anything like that. But because they're right in the middle, it's a valuable trade route. So they basically just charge any traders who are traveling through, to pass through Midstrom. The town has grown pretty sizable from just tariffs and fees to get through the town. It is a paranoid place. It is a place that most travelers, given the chance, will avoid Midstrom proper, just because it is so damn expensive. And also the Council of Minotaurs that help rule it and watch over the outer reaches of Midstrom proper have been known to be some of the more violent leaders in Bolarius. But Oberstone, as I said, is unusual when it comes to the townships that belong to the dukedom of Midstrom. Oberstone is set high on a massive plateaued step that looks down quite a ways and gives it this almost guard position to watch the lower section of open plain valley where Midstrom lies. And because it's a little harder to reach from Midstrom itself, and it's the furthest out town of the dukedom, it does not have a lot of the guidance and kind of micromanagement that the other towns in the dukedom have. This is a town that is rife with the eight winds. and you begin to feel those winds as the airship kind of rocks gently back and forth with this very gentle turbulence, but puttering itself down. You see that Ekaterina lands about 3 miles outside of the town. A decent walk, but she leans back and she pulls from her pack her own pipe, which she begins to very carefully fill with her own soft tobacco, and she takes it. All right, go conduct your business.
I
But
also pull out the pipe that the captain gave me, and I push through it, and there's some bubble liquid in there, and I just blow some bubbles out. I concur.
and they give you a side glance, but then they just look back at Shale. I'm leaving at dawn.
She's got the big watery eyes, just okay.
Dorian just puts a hand on Shale's shoulder reassuringly. Then we'll be with you. Thank you.
They nod and lean back, and you can see Ekaterina does not show off her magic very often, but she actually moves and makes a somatic gesture. She's leaning back and conjures a simple chair for her to sit, and she just waits. You're not sure if it's a method of I don't want to even walk over to escort you off the ship, or if it's a gesture of yeah, don't forget I have magic, fuckers. But it is a strange moment. But she leans back and sits down, and you see it seems as if she's content to wait here until the dawn, which right now it's mid-afternoon. Let's call it right at 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right. So, one, I'm not going to lie, Alec. I actually had forgotten she had magic, straight up, until that exact moment.
Yeah, like I said, she does not show it off often. Generally, if there's any magic that she uses, it seems to be to enhance her harpoon as she's hunting a whale. She is almost never seen actually casting a spell.
Harpoon magic.
Yeah.
Sorcery?
I'll know it.
I don't know.
It seems not to. It seems pretty similar to a paladin's divine smite.
Oh, holy cannoli! We have a paladin or a cleric on board. That would be interesting.
My wife's smite.
That's true.
Hmm.
So Dorian turns to Shell and just goes, "So, we should probably get this out of the way quickly, huh?" Lead the way. We got your back.
Fire up the suit and clank down off the ship. Head into town. I feel like after 50 feet or so, she stops and turns around and looks at the ship, see if or seeing if the captain takes off without her. Keeps looking back
She's sitting, and I will say until you are completely out of eyeshot, she's just has her eyes transfixed on you. Just there's big plumes of smoke, but you can see even through the haze of that, her eyes are just set completely watching Shale.
Right. Once we're out of sight, then she'll start focusing on the task at hand. Get a look around town.
Now, as I said, Overstone is small. It's I I mean, frankly, like I said, as towns go, most of Bolarius, like the biggest, like most outrageously large towns have a couple thousand people, maybe, you know? So it's really, you know, like an average town has a few hundred, and Overstone is no exception. There's maybe about 600 people here. But given its higher, like, well, first off, latitude, but also that it's set up on this very high, like, plateau. There's these gusts of wind that come riding off, and they blow across the buildings of the town. This little isolated village. And this is probably one of the only towns beyond, like, Harkenlade and I mean, maybe parts of Morterdocks that has, like, an organized militia guard. You see that there's, like, several, like, guards posted around, not like one on every street, but there's, you know, for the, like I said, for like the 600 people who live here, there's probably like 50 or 60 guards, and they all have, like, you know, either a simple chain shirt or like very nicely made studded leather armor with like a kind of like a uniform sense to it, and they have this symbol of the actual dukedom of Midstrom, and there's this like badge of like Midstrom, and then behind it these like 8 long white lines that have crisscross on the like heraldry, either set like on the chest armor or like painted onto the shields that the guards carry. And they nod. One of them is a human man who sees all of you. Welcome to Overstone. Came at a good time. The festival is about to start soon.
Festival? What kind? This whole way, Dorian's probably been pretty quiet, just like letting the wind roll over him. He seems very serene with how gusty this place is.
Well, and they point off and further out to the southeast, where you can actually see the massive ridge of the plateau. There's like these little bits of dust and sand that like blow up over the sides and create these like little swirling vortexes, and you can like see the wind itself coming in. And you know, every time one of the 8 winds blows in, we like to hold a little celebration. And this is a good one. And he smiles. Please, there's plenty of food, and of course we have some nice games. Why don't you all relax? You look like you've been traveling hard.
Thank you. That's generous. I think that'd be a lovely time. And he sort of like looks down at Shale like, we should probably get going. And maybe we can have some food on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's kind of like the dad, like, I know you don't want to ride this. I know we're doing this for your brother, but if you do this, afterward, we'll get ice cream, and then we'll go on the ride you want.
It's very much like that. Say, oh yeah, it's like, what was it, the marshmallow thing where it's like they have kids like, if you can wait, then you'll get 2 marshmallows, and none of the kids can wait. Like they just are so tortured by the decision, but they just have no sense of like actual permanence to wait.
Right, like even the ones that kind of understand, like, just aren't wired for it yet, and like they're like, I lost all the marshmallows by getting that, but
Yeah.
they can't help themselves.
But the town is strung with these like simple garlands and these like hanging lanterns. It's probably around the same size as Erisbridge, a little smaller for some of the buildings, but everything is kind of more densely packed together because there isn't as much farmland. This primarily deals in ore, drilling down into the actual plateau, and you can see that the third largest building in town, as opposed to this tiny little cramped office that is an Erisbridge, is a 2-story with its own separate wing off the side for customer relations, but is a gigantic Raddock ore blasting office.
I want to get a. I want to kind of get a feel for the building before we go in, like how many floors, how many exits.
Make a perception check.
Sure. Kind of scope the place out a little bit. 24.
And you look around, and there's the front doors. There's also, like I said, this attached little side building that is where it says customer service, and it has its own door leading to it. And then you see that there's a balcony on the second floor. There's also a side door and what appears to be this massive loading bay door on the back of the building. They presumably have carts or wagons or other things in the back, mining equipment that is can't fit through a normal door. So it's probably a large almost warehouse space to fit all of that.
All right. She kind of slaps her face a couple of times. Psh, psh, psh. All right. And you hear the creaking gears of the suit's legs, and as she marches her way into the reception area.
Inside, you can see that there is a Minotaur man sitting behind the desk, and which he dwarfs completely. He has this very mottled dark fur with these huge splotchy patches of white across it. His horns are gigantic, and they go straight out, and then almost at a right angle go straight up. It's a very harsh curve upward, but you notice that they have been very carefully scrimshawed, his entire horns. And he has this huge scrimshawed whalebone nose ring. But he wears a very simple uniform, and it's these coveralls that have, he clearly does actually work out in the mines, that he has dark, sooty stains along the edges of the sleeves and the front of his chest. And he looks in. Yeah.
Hey, big guy, I got an appointment with the boss, the boss here.
Your name?
Kind of leans on the desk. Shell Drill Nose.
And he leans in. What? Could you repeat that?
Shell Drill Nose. That's me. Shell Drill Nose.
And he kind of looks, and you can see he has to lean back, and he sticks his tongue out to clean up some of the snot around the end of his snout. You can see the huge nose ring is not the there's no way to have that and not constantly be dripping snot. Like, it's just, it's really not an appealing look. But he, all right, and he takes this like little clipboard and like looks at it. You said shale drill nose.
Yep.
And you can see like a couple of the miners like turn to see what all of the commotion is.
I feel like all the paintings on the wall shook a little bit. He's like, "Yep, that's me."
And he, oh, I see. Oh, you poor fucker. All right, you're gonna be you're gonna be meeting with Mr. Raddock. And he like puts the clipboard down, and he points to this like hallway that's like just off where his desk is, and goes all the way to the back of the building. There's a set of stairs that leans up there, then all the way back toward the front. You'll see his office. It's the big door.
I figured Dorian this whole time has had his hand on your shoulder, just like reassuringly if you need it.
And
she's like being a tough little guy.
and you can see he just kind of shakes his head and sends you off, and he has all the attitude of a man who just sent someone to the gallows. Like he like there's almost a solemn pity from him of like, oh, shame. And like you see like a couple of the miners are like, fucking Mr. Red? Oh my god, are they like they're kind of like going and giving that little like, you know, peas and carrots rhubarb, like just like all talking to each other, very low muttering.
Alright, thanks, big guy. Does he have like a bell on his desk or something, like to get his attention?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, she's like, thanks, big guy. Good out. Yeah, she leaves and comes back, just ding, 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 ding. Leaves again.
He just kind of looks down. The stairs at the far end are, you can see like the wood creaks even underneath your feet, and there's like, it is a arduous journey to go up. Like you can feel yourself like, whew, this is the architecture becomes more and more ornate as you like go up to the second floor, and this goes from like, you know, very basic bland like warehouse to this like nice office space, and there's like these fancy, like, I mean, expensive like wood doors, and then you begin to see on the very back there's this huge plaque set on one door that says Mr. Tiberius Raddock IV. And it
Nepotism.
and I would say make a history check.
Sure. I might know some information about these guys. 10. I did not pay attention to
Well,
what my mom used to say about them.
you don't know all the Raddocks personally. You do know that like the family itself are said to be pretty imposing, but there is a healthy dash of nepotism amongst the Raddock ore blasting. Like
It's the fourth.
yeah, they absolutely like being part of the family assures you a cushy job for the rest of your life, and that can afford in a place like Bolarius, where it's like everyone has to work and survive and to make the best of life. Like one of the the few families that can afford to be born like into a semblance of wealth, of just like, oh no, I can push people around. It does not breed someone who's down to earth and awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do have a quick question. Is this a situation where like I had to park my suit and go on foot? Like
Oh yeah, the suit definitely will not make it up the stairs.
So it's just like parked in the lobby or something. Like someone's like, you can't take that up there. And she's like, like sits it down, climbs out, like makes a big deal out of it, like her little legs, like kind of throwing them over the edge, and then
Yeah, you
put
risk.
the bike lock on that.
Yeah,
the all-purpose tool. I just hit a button. It's like boop whoop.
it's what was the like thing you put in the steering wheel to lock the car?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Wheels.
it's not a boot, but
yeah, but it's like I just imagine it like so you really risk the Ed from RoboCop situation of if you try to go up or down the stairs in your mech. We have an advantage in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Chris.
Grandpa Wooly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I fall down the stairs and it starts squealing like a pig.
You get
The
to
club. Thank you, Chris.
the club. You get to the office. It is unlocked, and you can see that there's these like thick blinds. This is clearly the window, like in the door that leads out to the balcony that overlooks the actual street. But your sight of this is blocked by the back of a chair, as in true dramatic fashion, they have their back to you as you walk in this very fine, like wood and leather chair. And again, these are expensive things to cultivate in Bolarius. This is a sure sign of just showing off wealth for the sake of it, which is exceedingly difficult to find in a place like Bolarius.
Like I'm like, all right, tough guy, and like shoulders up, and then I push the door open too hard. Take a step in.
There's a couple of very simple wooden chairs across the desk, and you see this like large plume of smoke, and there's this gray flabbyish hand that has a cigar that pulls away, and you recognize the same kind of texture to their skin and like the makeup of just the arm that you can see holding this like fat cigar. They appear to be a catfish folk like Rio.
Oh.
But they lean out and like without looking like stamp out this cigar. They turn around and it's this huge bulbous headed like catfish folk. You can see that they have a couple of crisscross like little scars across their face, and then a huge like whalebone. It looks like a hook that has been like set into their lip like a lip ring, but it's like this massive like fishing hook, like chink. And they turn around and you can see that they have this ornate, clearly custom made suit that like sets across with these fine like hand chalked pinstripes, and they lean back. So you're Sale Drillnose, huh?
What? Yeah.
Well, I'm Tiberius Raddock, of course.
This feels like a hate crime, but I don't know against who.
I'm not gonna lie,
like
it's
it
almost
might
like this
be
Dorian's
me.
really glad he doesn't have a mouth, because he would not be able to control his smile.
Like, yeah, I saw. Yeah, I saw your name on the door there, boss man.
Yes, please. Sit down.
He'll come in. Have a seat. Does he have like a? Is this more like a medium folk scale or like small folk scale?
He's like medium. Probably full height. He's like 5'5". Like he's not very tall, but he's he's fine.
Kind of dwarf, kind of proportions maybe.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
very broad, but he is, like I said, he's about a foot taller than an average dwarf, but he's broad. He's a catfish folk, so he's just like thick and the chairs across from, like I said, these simple wooden chairs that you notice are a little lower, and they're like these almost, it's like that classic like Pennsylvania Dutch like wooden chair, but like the seat is intentionally set lower at an angle so that you're like sitting looking up at him just slightly. Even like given your reduced size, even if you were like taller than him, you'd probably be set just to like put him in a position of power.
Ah, I see. I'll scramble up into one of these chairs and like kind of like slide back awkwardly because of the way it's tilted. Like, oh.
I feel like Dorian would just like walk over towards one of the chairs and like stand beside it, hand on the back of it. I don't think he's gonna sit unless unless the guy literally is about to make a stink about it.
Yeah,
But,
he like gestures to the seat of the chair. Please sit down.
Dorian rolls his eyes and sits down, crosses his legs very daintily.
I'm a goblin. I'm used to looking up at people.
I'm gonna sit on Dorian's lap.
He's so heavy.
Yeah, actually, that might be a problem.
Oh,
I would go
I'll
for all
sit
of
in my
10
own chair.
seconds before my feet fall asleep.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, so you can ignore the third chair and sit in Dorian's lap if you like, but there is a chair.
no, I'll go over and I'll sit in the chair, but I'll look over at Dorian's lap and sigh.
One of these
I will
days.
say, as he sort of settles in, like, he's gonna slowly, like, stretch, and as he does, he's gonna add, like, a couple inches to himself using his shape changer abilities, just be a little bit compensate for the slightly lower chair. I want to say, like, not quite a power move, but kind of like a, okay, if this is how we're starting this off, sure.
Well, I'm sure you're curious as to why you've been summoned here.
Yep. Who told you? Who told you about me? There.
Well, it's actually quite interesting. Your entire family has long since been a thorn in the side of the Raddock Ore Blasting Company. And I think that this is a matter of misunderstanding. You see, my father, Tiberius III, believes that there can be peace between the Drill Noses and the Raddocks. And I would like to see this peace accomplished. I've been given your file. I had my company mage send you some messages. He's been scrying on you. And I see that you recovered one of our ships.
Yeah, it was abandoned when we found it. You can go pick it up at Arisbridge. You know, it's parked over there whenever you guys need it.
No, it is not. It has been dismantled and added to that tall woman's ship.
Well, you know, we might have taken a few parts to, to get the old Primrose running. You know, a little compensation for moving the ship for you.
I
Anyway.
do feel also it's important to mention that that tall woman on the ship is probably one of the most dangerous people I've ever met, so be careful asking for those parts back.
Yes, they're not much use to us now. You know, Thale, we're not so different, you and I. We're both business people.
Yeah, I'm a business person. Yeah.
Yes. I think that we can come to a mutually beneficial agreement.
Well, Well, I can't tell my folks what to do. You know, like we're kind of out on my own now. So I can't promise that they're gonna play nice with the Raddocks, but
No, your parents perhaps not, but well, I will say that your aunt and uncle have been very forthcoming after some intense questioning by one of our agents.
aunt and uncle.
Yes.
She kind of like softens a little, like, where are they? Do you?
I hardly see how that's relevant right now. But I'm sure you can be reunited. You see, there is a matter of urgent business that you could assist me on, and I suggest that you do not decline.
That Uncle Pumice?
And they give like a half, crooked smile of like,
Oh, Uncle Pumice! How dare you?
yes, Uncle Pumice.
So I have to ask, Alec, this is purely curiosity. Is the lisp entirely because this guy has rammed a fish hook through his lip and can't close it properly?
No.
I love him. Oh my god. I hate him, but I love him. I just want to let you know that. This character's beautiful.
I turn to Shale and I say, your uncle is hummus?
Shush! She's like flustered. She doesn't like play along with Rio at all. She's like, "Oh, don't be quiet."
Be by marriage.
Well,
Mari, what do you want with me? You mentioned your little spell slinger there mentioned my suit too. So what are you after?
oh yes, I should say that our turret was something that we were not happy to have stolen from us.
We found it.
Yes.
Fell off one of your
Yes.
ships, probably during
Found it.
some sort of altercation or.
It is irrelevant. Now, there is a section of the Red Cliffs that we have not been able to breach, but we believe holds great tracts of ore. We need someone to get through the Ilex Pass near Sullenthor and then into the Red Cliff. You and your fancy little suit there will do this for us. Then and only then will Uncle Pumice be returned to you. Understood?
Oh, fine. And she'll hop out of her chair and like walk towards his desk and it's like, fine, we'll do this for you. Hang on. She's like climbing up the front of his desk, like she's gonna get up onto the desk and he's like, all right, I do this dig for you, and you let go of my aunt and uncle, and then we're square. You got me? Pooh! Like puts the hand out.
And they nod and you see they're like, and like they just spray a bunch of saliva over their own hand and then shake your hand. Yes, next time consider the consequences of your actions.
I never consider the consequences of my actions.
Yes.
Yeah, tell him, Shale. Tell him.
Dorian was angry and blurry, like he was in a gale for a bit there, like poorly defined. Then he sees that and just like immediately back to normal, eyebrow raised with mild gross, like just a little bit like The shell wasn't that bad, but the catfish guy just, oh my god.
She's just a little goblin. It's just a little patooey.
Yeah. The other guy was like,
I'll dig that ore out of the mountain for you, and I'll do it twice as fast as your goons ever did. Harumph!
Yes. Yes. You will find this mine. Our agents in Thor will lead you there. Good luck in the Alex Pass. And Sale, I suggest you do not disappoint us. For the sake of pumice.
Good day, sir. Stomps on the desk. Stomps her like little muddy boot on the desk and hops off.
Yes.
Harumph!
Yes. Go speak with the secretary downstairs. We validate mech parking. And enjoy the festival. Get out of my sight.
I will. I'll probably get some type of popcorn.
And they give a half, almost nod of respect of like, yes, the popcorn is quite good. Leave my office at
I
once.
like your barbels.
Thank you.
They really look. You really styled them quite well.
Yes, I have my barbels. That's a barbel barber. Style them for me.
Rio, we're leaving. We're leaving in a huff.
Oh yeah, I was wondering where you. Oh okay.
They're actually just down the street. If you give them my name, they'll give you a fantastic price.
Rio!
I actually really appreciate that.
I'm waiting to slam the door.
Okay, I'm going. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Dorian.
And then they look over at Sale,
Bye.
and they're like, yes, leave.
Dorian walks out after the other two, and just like as the door's being slammed, he puts his foot in it as they're walking away, and as he's like content that they're walking down the hall, he leans his head back into the room. His features get incredibly dark. Like again, he goes to like that weird. He's almost like in a hurricane kind of look, and his eyes change from teal to like a bright, piercing red. And the mouth sort of splits, and it's a little more feral and unpleasant than usually. Just says, and if you hurt pumice, you'll be dealing with me.
And he like opens up one of the drawers of his desk and pulls out this like just gigantic trumpeted like huge musket pistol and points it at you. Bring it on, State Sister. Think I give a shit who you are?
I was gonna make the joke he pulls out a gun, but he did. So.
Yeah, he didn't pull out a gun. Oh, we pulling out guns here now. Okay. Dorian smiles at him. Good luck. Click, and then walks out the door.
Dale runs down the hall, back down the hallway, and like opens the door and slams it again. Rumph! And then runs back.
Every time you say every letter of the word harumph. Harumph.
So,
Go up to the Minotaur's desk, like with my little hands on his desk, and I was like, I heard you validate parking.
yeah, and he gives you a little ticket to like think and hands.
I'm gonna go to a barbel barber.
Yes,
God, no.
a barbler is
Barbler.
actually just down the street. There is a barber, and next to them a barbler. There is a decent amount of catfish folk here in Oberstone.
Probably owned by the same people.
It's Borbel's Barber and Borbel's Barbarel. They both have very similar signage. Don't get them confused. It's a long-standing feud between the two businesses.
Of course, he has like this metal rod in it, which is Borbel's Barbler Bar.
Damn. Yeah, no, I can't. You plus 4 me there. You win.
Borbel's Barber Bar.
the bar for Borble's Barble Barber. But I can't. No, man, I lost. I lost. I fell off the train.
Like Chris said, is it a thick sooner? I want to say I was going to have him be scary and imposing, and then as you were opening the door, I was like, nope, I'm going to be ridiculous. That was a
Good call.
split-second decision, and I don't regret it.
He
I love
is a
it.
straight up South Park villain, and I love him so much.
But I will say,
He's
as
a
you
good foil for Shale, I think.
as you head out into the town, you can see that there's these little booths set up, little like kiosks. There's like several little shops, and people are setting up for this festival of the Eight Winds. And indeed, you can feel these soft, blowing winds coming in over the actual ridge, like blowing across the town. And the Eight Winds of Bolarius are literally this magical conflux of energies that manifest as winds. And depending on their direction and their intensity, they can affect the emotions of the creatures who feel them. And this town, set on the ridge, can feel the Eight Winds often. It's in a prime position for air to like blow across up the ridge and over the town. And you can see that the like hanging lights and garlands are not like a temporary thing. Like this is a pretty permanent fixture. A lot of these like little kiosks and carts are set permanently. Like they probably hold very regular festivals, like once or twice a month. Anytime the Eight Winds come into town. And even as furious as you all were to leave, well, especially as furious as Shale was, but like, even as you all have left the Raddock blasting building, you can feel the wind blowing across, and you feel this strange sense of immediate elation. All of you feel like brighter and a little happier. You see some of the guards going around talking to some of the vendors, and there's the smells of various confections and little treats of rich, like, festival food. There's like these huge, like, lamb shanks and these like nice little smatterings of candies and like little, like, nice pastries. There's little like festival games and fun little activities around. It's still not very late into the evening. I mean, at this point, it's probably like 5 or 6 o'clock. It's just the end of business hours, and the people are like moving in. Several of them smile at all of you. I will say, for Rio, if you'd like, you can go to the Warbler, which is just down the street.
Absolutely, I am going, and then I do walk out looking exactly the same. But
Yeah.
I do say, like, how do I look, guys? You think I look pretty good?
They waxed my head. Look at that.
You can't even see those little tiny hairs that cover my whole body. A normal thing for catfish. That I'm saying right now and inserting into Alex's world.
I'm making it canon as we speak.
Dorian.
Hilarious. All catfish folk are covered in a fine layer of hair.
Yeah. The thing is, all catfish folk now canon, it's like peach fuzz across their entire bodies, but they have like a slick mucus as well, so you can't even feel it. It's just like this like it's like if you like dunked a peach underwater and then ran your hand across it.
I
good.
got
I got a mucus. It's great.
a little card that says I can get 15% off a mucus infusion for the skin.
What a steal.
Dorian's just squinting at you the whole time, like just trying to figure out the words to say. Just says, "You look great, Rio."
Ew.
All right,
You
so
look great. Oh, do you guys get any caramel corn yet? I
No,
have
we're
to assume that there's some around here.
Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely.
this is business. We're in business mode. I'm just gonna get one candied apple and then we're gonna go.
That's the most business-like food of all. Candy apple.
I'm so furious. All I'm gonna get is a candy apple and maybe a giant pretzel and some cotton candy, and then like maybe
funnel
one
cake?
of those lampshades, and then a funnel cake, and then I'm gonna play like 3 rounds of games and go on the Ferris wheel, and then I'm getting out of here.
But one of the games is ring toss, so I might be there for like 30, 45 minutes, and I may or may not be laughing, but don't take that seriously. Like it's business. We have to do it.
Yeah.
Is there a test your strength game anywhere in this festival?
Oh no.
Absolutely, there is.
I would like to go to it.
Can you make an athletics check for me, please?
I walk up, and I would like to I walk up to the person running it and say like, so, do you have a hammer that you want me to use, or can we bring our own?
And you can see that the guy working the test your strength is this like disaffected human man. He's like maybe in his like mid-30s, and he's actually like reading from this like very simple like book, and he like looks up at you. I truly, and I mean this completely openly, don't give a shit.
Wonderful. And what is the highest prize I can win by defeating this game?
And he points over, and there's this very large stuffed animal of a sky whale, and you can see that it has this like huge like felted disc on top of its head. It appears to be a depiction of the like generally agreed upon look of Borble. It's a huge stuffed Borble.
A borble bobble.
Borble Bobble by the Borble Barble is... Fuck! Now I fucked it up.
I've always wanted a squishmallow of God.
Well, who wouldn't?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna win that. No, that is business.
I'm gonna make an athletics check here. Do a lot of stretching beforehand. Just like, okay, here we go. Hey, Shale, if I don't make it, I apologize.
If I don't make it.
I might die doing this. Alright, let's see here.
We have a summon floof in the chat, so
Oh, hey, Floof.
Hey, baby.
Shale made that face today.
yeah.
Big watery
22
eyes.
athletics check.
She's very upset because she was asleep on the chair, so she's like, oh, God, my comfort.
Oh, she lives for being carried, buddy. You know.
Yeah.
So, with a 22 athletics check, do I destroy the test your strength game?
You bring the hammer down, and it ping, and like it goes up and it hits the bell, and you can see like the weight hits the bell so hard that like the bottom of the bell like ding and like bends upward. So it's like the ding gets cut off of like ding, and then like it just like goes back down, and like part of the wood that like holds the end, like the fulcrum, is like partially cracked, and like the guy looks at you and he's like. And he gets up and goes and gets the huge stuffed Borble and like shoves it into your arms.
I hand it to Shale and I say, one stuffed animal of our true and noble God for you.
She like hugs it like it's real big. Like
Yeah, it's larger than Shale.
It's larger than Shale.
she's trying to be tough, but she just looks at you and she's like, I love it.
Thought it could be comforting for you during your business dealings.
Just holding a giant stuffed animal. I'm still mad.
But it's
Very-
so fluffy, I could die.
I'm very tough. And she hugs it. She squeezes it, and the leggings like makes a little squeak noise.
It's a little. The weirdest part is no squeaker. Shale just made that noise.
Yeah, it's just the noise she makes.
I think as we're walking away, Dorian's just gonna like quickly reach and sort of like stretch an arm to use mending touch and just gently ding the bell, and then pull back down again and just be like, yeah, and then just walk away. Because at this point, I have a feeling that I'm used to my party leaving devastation in its wake, and this is the smallest devastation I have seen thus far.
Yes.
I'm just gonna go through and beat as many games as I can, and leave just a path of destruction in my wake.
The thing where you throw the baseballs at the milk bottles.
The baseball smashes into 1,000 pieces.
Well,
But the milk bottles are fine.
yeah.
I get where they don't move.
Is mithril?
While we're partaking of the fair, I am gonna kind of like ask around and see if anyone's seen any goblins of my my uncle's description.
Make a persuasion check.
Boo, 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 boo. There it is. Gotta remember this is alphabetical. I rolled a 1.
You ask around. People are enjoying themselves in the festival, and you're like, "Oh, everything." They just kind of like look down at you, and like the best answer you get is like, "Oh no, sorry, haven't seen any goblins. You know, sorry."
Interrupting people as they're about to take a bite of a hot dog, and it's like, "Hey, you seen a goblin?"
Yeah,
There's one yelling in my face.
yeah, you get a few other like rude answers, but otherwise it's pretty quiet. And you all, like, as you're looking at the festival, there's a soft little, not even a full like thunderclap, but a little crackling of noise in the sky. You can see like some of the clouds have begun to gather, and a very soft drizzle of rain begins to slowly move across. And people in the festival have like, they're used to this. So they like have pulled up like little awnings and things, and most of the festival still goes by unabated. But it's quiet, and people have, the energy has shifted a bit as people are just going from place to place, or now like later into the evening have begun to actually head off to like local little taverns and bars and restaurants to eat and get like a full dinner as opposed to just festival food.
Yeah.
Or begin heading home for the night. The festival itself is only a few hours, at most maybe like 5 or 6 hours. And there's a little like, soft light in the distance. You can see of what is apparently a little campfire that Ekaterina has made on the ground off of the ship. It's a peaceful moment here in Oberstone, which is where we're going to leave off for this week. And here you go, Flip.
I'm so glad I got to eat 7 chili dogs.
You won the chili dog eating contest.
I didn't even know there was a contest on.
Someone just put a blue ribbon over your head. You're like, oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I saw a bunch of dudes eating hot dogs really intensely. I thought it was just a buffet.
Okay. Well,
I won the buffet.
Won
well, I want to thank all of my players for playing with me today. Everybody in the chat, hope you all had a fantastic time. And like I said, we'll wrap it up for today. But why don't we go through? And Matthew, what do you got? What are you working on? Tell the people where they can find you and what's popping.
Yes, Barrel Wizards. I'm Matthew. You can find me at MattmanDH at Twitter and Instagram. I'm an illustrator, cartoonist, and DM. I stream with Alec Tuesday and Wednesdays, and my current project is I'm DMing a live play with Alec, the Squid Menace, which I've just collected our party, and I'm sending out messages, so we'll be able to make some announcements about that soon. It's
Hell yeah.
it's an adventure of my own design. There'll be there'll be ships, there'll be water, there'll be squids, there'll be tentacles,
There'll be Menace.
menace. People will be menaced.
Yeah. I,
That's me.
I'm very, very excited for Squid Menace. That's going to be very awesome. So, yeah, keep an eye out, everybody, for more news about that as it comes. Omni, what do you got? What are you working on?
Hey, Chief, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm the Last Omnitect, your favorite robot American. You guys can catch me on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thelast.omnitect, where I do a combination of digital art, world building, and rule crafting for TTRPGs. You guys can also catch me on Twitter. I have an Instagram as well. And you can see I post art there, talk about my projects. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of a poll, which will determine or I should say the end of a poll, which will determine what my next project is going to be, because come November, I'm going full-time on my channel. So you guys will get to see a Let's Play on there, or an actual play campaign on there. Again, we're just deciding what it's going to be. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I also run Mouse Guard on DMDM Studios, and I play in a bunch of other games on this channel, Redemption VA, DMDM Studios. You guys can see me all over the place. And I'm also a commission artist. My commissions are currently full, but they will be open very shortly. So keep an eye out. That's me, Chief.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alrighty. And Gainer. It's popping.
What's up, everybody? My name is Gainer. You can find me on Twitter at GayNorcott. That's GayNorcott. I'm an actor, TTRPG enthusiast. You can find me here weekly playing Rio on Skies of Bolarius. You can find me monthly. Our next session is September 18th over on twitch.tv/ThornyDryad, running the game U-Force Inheritance, a mass actual play. And if you're interested in the YA series Warriors, I have a podcast called Two Leg Talks, which is a podcast where we did a reread of those. And it's a good time. I got some more projects coming up that will be coming out in the next couple of months. So keep an eye on me over at twitter.com/GayNorcott. Yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, appreciate all of you. Again, this is a big comfort campaign for me, so it's really nice to play with you all every week. And if you're watching this, you probably know who I am, but I'm Alakazam, a pro DM, purveyor of all things homebrew. I right now I only have one time slot left, so if you're interested in playing any of my games, hit me up on Twitter or Discord. But otherwise, you can find me every other Tuesday doing Cyberpunk Phantom Pain, a cyberpunk actual play inspired by gears of a metal nature. And that will be all alternating with Squid Menace once Squid Menace gets opening up. Obviously, every Wednesday I'm here running Skies of Bolarius, a 5e actual play that is set in Bolarius, the amazing setting created by Bogus Cheesecake. And then, of course, every Thursday I'm streaming, either doing Curious Creations with Sea Lover Art, where Chris will be illustrating live on air, or I will be homebrewing live on air. We kind of alternate and go back and forth and come up with usually some pretty wacky, ridiculous shit, so that's always fun. And I alternate that every other week with Redemption VA's What's Yours Is Mine Cyberpunk Red actual play, where I play Fireball, who is absolutely insane. So check me out. I will say, if you ever miss one of the videos live, you can always check out my YouTube, which is amongst all of my links, where I post the VODs a week after they air. So thank all of you so much. I will say, I just checked, we don't have anyone going right now, so we're just going to Because that's today. No raid today. Want everyone just calm. Just enjoy the rest of your
We're gonna-
Wednesday.
Raid into a meditation app. So
Yeah.
go find your favorite meditation app and raid yourself right into it.
We're just gonna raid right into a nap and just
Right back into bed.
Mm.
So good.
into a giant, just plate full of spaghetti.
Oh, a nap and a plate full of spaghetti sounds delightful.
It does. So on that note, goodbye everybody. I think you all know what to say. Stay magical, and what do we say, Matthew?
Wizards, keep on whizzing.
Keep on whizzing.